Are you a speaker? Are you a presenter? Are you a person who speaks to audiences? Then know this. I've spoken about it many times, and I often wonder, does it always seem to fall on deaf ears? I'm talking about audiences and the size of an audience in a room and the positioning of the audience in relationship to the speaker. I read about this in Dale Carnegie's book way back in the 1980s when I'd barely begun speaking to audiences. And as I said, I know it to be true. Looking at that book again, or a rewrite of the book, I'd like to read out what Dale Carnegie said all those years ago. It is very important. As a public lecturer, I have frequently spoken to a small audience scattered through a large room in the afternoon, and to a large audience packed into the same hall that night. The evening audience has laughed heartily at the same things, which brought only a smile to the faces of the afternoon group. The evening crowd has applauded generously at the very places where the afternoon gathering was utterly unresponsive. Why? Why indeed? And this is why, if you're a conference organizer and you want to have your speakers be as effective as possible and your audience to enjoy their presentations, note this. Why? For one thing, the elderly woman, etc., etc., etc. The fact is, no audience will be easily moved when it is scattered. I'll repeat that. No audience will be easily moved when it is scattered. Nothing so dampens enthusiasm as wide open spaces and empty chairs between listeners. When will we learn this? Speakers know it, or if you don't, learn about it. There are techniques to get your audience to move up closer to you and for you to get them to gather close together. If it's a big room with a small audience, get them up near you, get them packed tightly together. One way to do this, as I've said before, ask them all to stand up before you speak. Stand up. And when they stand up, ask them to move to the seats at the front and fill them up. Once standing, they'll probably do it. If you just ask them to do it whilst they're seating, they'll wriggle around a bit and stay where they are. Most of them anyway. So this is very important. If you want to get an audience ambience, get that energy in the room, pack the audience close together and at an optimal distance. The distance being the bigger the audience, the further away they can be, but an optimum distance from you as a speaker. And just watch the energy grow in the room as you speak to that audience.